I was thinking about the last Christmas I had in Green Bay, Wisconsin with my family. I was at the Texans yesterday with his family, and I realized it had been 2014, 11 years. It didn't snow gently that Christmas. It slammed the ground like it meant something important, right? 2014, that was the last Christmas I had before I packed and went to Penn State. Everybody was still alive. My Grandma Audrey was still in her chair. Grandpa Jerry was alive. Uncle Scott, Aunt Laura. And my grandma, knew all of us, who we were, what we were, and she still loved all of us. My grandpa went to prison back in 1995 for gun trafficking. 4 years. That's not folklore or anything. That's fucking real life paperwork. That's my family. The history nobody puts on Christmas cards. My Uncle Scott was alive. My Uncle Danny was alive. Went to prison for weed, went to prison for cocaine, felonies that followed him like shadows. My Aunt Laura was still alive. Our Christmas was never Hallmark Christmases, right? It was survival with tinsel. Drunks, alcoholics, and addicts, abusers. Cigarette smoke clinging to the winter coats every time someone went outside. Stories repeated a bunch of times, everybody yelling and screaming and swearing because everybody was half drunk or trying not to be drunk. My dad doesn't drink, doesn't smoke. But all three of my fucking uncles did. I guess that's how my family balanced things out. My dad didn't, and the three boys did. One stays clean so the rest can burn, right? But in the middle of all the chaos, there was always love. Loud, messy, inappropriate. The kind that yells across the room but forgets about apologizing afterwards. We never took turns opening gifts. No. It was a free-for-all, wrapping paper everywhere. It felt like a confetti crime scene to me. The kids were yelling, someone arguing in the kitchen, someone crying in the bathroom, someone laughing like nothing was wrong. That was my Christmas. Green Bay, Wisconsin. Winter cold that cut through the bones. Boots by the door, snow melting in puddles. That was my Christmas. You never had to pretend everything was okay. You just showed up. Sober, addicted, felon, black sheep, golden child. Nobody was normal. None of us ever pretended to be. That was the last time. Because Grandma died in 2018 and Aunt Laura died, Uncle Scotty died. Not all at once, one by one. Kind of like lights going out on a string of Christmas lights. Grandma, dead. Uncle Scott, dead. Grandpa Jerry, dead. Aunt Laura, dead. Pieces of the family disappearing until the house isn't loud anymore, right? And then there's me leaving. Crossing fucking 6 state lines with grief I didn't have language for yet. Now I'm in Texas. No snow. No chaos. No history hanging in the air like cigarette smoke anymore. The Texans family is normal. They take turns opening presents, one person at a time. Everyone politely watching, smiling on cue, no yelling, no secrets accidentally spilling out over the third drink. No chaos. These people don't drink. I don't know what to do with a normal family at Christmas. It's too safe, it's too orderly. My nervous system keeps waiting for some kind of a crash or an arrest or a chaotic moment. An argument, something where someone storms out or flips a table or something. This is my third Christmas with this family and it doesn't happen. It's very strange for me. I don't miss my Christmases with my family because they were good Christmases. I miss them because they were real Christmases. I miss the dysfunction because it spoke my language. I knew how to survive in that. I knew who I was in the noise. It's such a fucked up grief that you have to trade for chaos to go to peace. No one talks about that part, right? They don't talk about getting into peace and how you stay there. I miss my Green Bay family Christmases where love and destruction sat at the same fucking table. Where everyone was flawed and nobody was hiding it. Where the past was heavy but it was shared. I miss being surrounded by people who have done real time, real damage, real living. People who weren't polished but were honest about being broken. I don't like these fake motherfuckers that try to hide it. The last Christmas, I didn't know it was the last Christmas. Right? You never do. I might have stayed longer, listened harder if I'd known. I would have held Grandma Audrey's hand longer. I would have watched Grampa more closely. Because now it's only in my memory. Snow I can't touch, voices I can't hear. A family that only exists when I let myself remember. That was the last Christmas before everything changed. They all died. I went to Penn State. Before I learned that missing dysfunction doesn't mean you want it back, it just means it made you who you are. And I recently had to sever ties with someone I thought would be a part of my team for a long time, and it's hurting me. Because this motherfucker pretended to believe in my dream and my words, and then the first chance of fucking went right for my gut. Nobody's gonna listen to goddess rap. Nobody fucking cares about witchcraft. You're selling bullshit. So I have to look again at myself, my life, and how I grew up. And I started thinking about the last Christmas in Green Bay, where love was imperfect, criminal records were real, and Christmas was chaos wrapped in truth.